Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Burns from Flying Start, and it's Find Out Friday. The last few weeks, we've been looking closely at what kindergarten students need to know about mathematics in order to be ready for first grade. We looked at counting, we looked at adding and subtracting, we looked at geometry, and we looked at measurement and data. So what else do they need to do? Isn't just being able to count and add and subtract, isn't that enough? Well, no, it's really not. When we think about mathematics, I think about mathematics the same way I think about reading. It's about the comprehension. Is just being able to identify letters and sounds and read text enough? No, it's not, right? The same with math. Just being able to count or add and subtract is not enough. In reading, comprehension is the goal. It's the prize, right? Decoding is just the means. It's the same with math. There's a huge difference between being able to do addition and thinking about math like this.
Now, what do you see in this picture? Rian, tell me, how many birds do you see, Rian?
3 birds.
There's 3 birds, right? But what if I told you there's really 11, that the rest are hiding behind the cloud? How can we find out how many birds are hiding behind the cloud? Where should we start?
From 11.
And what are we going to do when we're at 11?
-3.
See, the understanding is the key. The addition, subtraction, and counting, the procedures, those are the means. The comprehension, just like in reading, is the prize. So learners need to know a whole lot more than just discrete skills. They need to know algebraic thinking, and they need to have opportunities to practice algebraic thinking often, repeatedly, all of the time in order to get good at it. Algebraic thinking is problem solving. A president of the National Council for Teachers of Mathematics, NCTM, which is highly regarded, defines algebraic thinking as recognizing and analyzing patterns, studying and representing relationships, making generalizations, and analyzing how things change. It sounds an awful lot like reading, doesn't it? The standards for mathematical practice describe varieties of expertise that mathematics educators like me and like you at home with your own learner should seek to develop in their students. Let's take a closer look.
Standard for Mathematical Practice 1. Make sense of problems and persevere in solving them. Mathematically proficient students start by explaining to themselves the meaning of a problem and looking for entry points to its solution. I often tell students to think about what you know from the problem and what you're trying to find out. Students should also be able to monitor and evaluate their progress and change course if necessary. Mathematically proficient students check their answers to problems using a different method. For example, if they counted on to get their answer, they might try subtracting back to see if they get the same answer and ask themselves, does this make sense? Standard for Mathematical Practice number 2, reason abstractly and quantitatively. Mathematically proficient students make sense of quantities and their relationships in problem situations. Considering the units involved, attending to the meaning of quantities, not just how to compute them. Mathematical Practice number 3, construct viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others. Mathematically proficient students justify their conclusions. They're able to communicate them to others and to respond to the arguments of others. Mathematically proficient students are also able to compare the effectiveness of 2 different methods. They should be able to distinguish between logical reasoning and reasoning that is not logical. Join me again next week as I examine the rest of the standards for mathematical practice. And join us every day at getaflyingstart.com. Flying Start provides live, small group online learning for young thinkers ages 4 through 7. Young thinkers unite at Flying Start.